how to operate the main control panels in the Adria Matrix 670 Plus. The main control panels are located just above the fridge. To turn the power on, just push the corner just here. You'll see we have a little picture of a light bulb just here. So this will turn on some of the lights. They can all, however, be individually turned on and off on their own switches. We then have auxiliary. So it does absolutely nothing on this particular model. Other components can be wired into them. We then have awning light on and off, water pump on and off. We need the water pump on to be able to get water out of the taps, flush the toilet and fill the boiler if it's been drained down. This one just here is letting us know that we are currently connected to mains electricity. We then have condition of vehicle battery and condition of leisure battery. How many amps we're currently using. How much water's in the fresh tank. How much water's in the waste tank. The internal temperature and the external temperature. Next to this control panel, we then have the controls for the heating and hot water system. If I now press the button just here, we can turn it on. We can see it's displaying the time, and again it's letting us know that we're connected to mains electricity. If I now press the button, you'll see a series of icons, and as I begin to rotate the button, they will begin to flash. So if we start with the first icon just here, this one is for your heating. If I now click on it, you'll see heating is off, and all I now do is just rotate it and pick whatever temperature I would like it to be inside the motorhome, and it will go right the way up to 30 degrees. Once you've decided on a temperature, click to store it in, and you'll see a flame's appeared above. That little flame there just represents the heating system, and it's just letting you know that you've set a parameter. Whenever the heating is in operation, it will begin to flash, and it will continue to flash until it achieves the temperature you have asked. If we now move to the next icon, this one here is for your hot water, and again hot water is off. Rotate and we can heat hot water in eco mode, which will give us a temperature of about 40 degrees. Hot, which will give us a temperature of about 60 degrees, and we can also perform a boost on the boiler. The boost was mainly designed for if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other, or if you just want hot water extremely quickly. If you do perform the boost and the heating's running, the heating will turn off as it needs to rob that power. And again, the icon will continue to flash until it's achieved the temperature you've asked. After heating and hot water, we then have power source. So we are currently using mains electricity, indicated by the two little lightning strikes there. And we're using mains electricity at 2 kilowatts. If I rotate, I can lower the power consumption to 1 kilowatt, which is handy if we're on a low amp site to try and avoid tripping. If we have both power sources available to us, we can also run in dual fuel, so we can run on a mixture of gas and mains at 2 kilowatts, or a mixture of gas and mains at 1 kilowatt. It will only use the gas as it is required. And then lastly, if we don't have any main supply, we can solely run on gas. Next we have the circulation fan. At the moment the fan's in eco mode. We can turn it up to high. If I turned the heating off and then went back to it, we can also use it just to vent the motorhome as well. Along the bottom we have timer. So pick when you would like the timer to begin and when you would like it to finish, and then select what you would like on within that time period. And then lastly, timer on or off. If I now activate the timer, the timer icon will come up there, and then within that time period those settings would apply. If I now return to it, I can turn it back off again, and when we go back we can then alter it again. Next we have clock set, and then lastly we have the settings menu. So within this we have offset just for the internal thermostat. If you don't think it's quite correct, you can just slightly adjust it. Temperature, just if you prefer it displayed in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Brightness of the screen. 12 or 24 hour clock. Language. Index, more for the technicians, it just lets them know what software it's running. And then lastly, full factory reset. From time to time, these control panels will throw up error codes. They will usually be something relatively basic. So at the moment we're running on main supply, and if I now went outside and pulled the mains lead out, or we tripped, etc., it would flash up with an error code letting us know that we have lost main supply. Same would happen if we were trying to run on gas and we didn't have any gas. An error code will appear where my finger is here as a warning triangle. I can actually make this throw up an error code at the moment by turning off the main control panel. So if we now hold this down until it says off and now return, in a moment we should get an error code appear. And W255H is the error code for I have lost 12 volt. Reason being that we've turned the 12 volt off. If I now turn the control panel back on again, the error code should automatically disappear because we have rectified the problem. So 9 times out of 10 it will just disappear when you sort it out. If that hadn't have then just automatically disappeared, I would have then gone to the warning triangle, double clicked, and a lot of the time it will then say no error and then disappear. If that doesn't work, if you still have stuff running like I have up the top there, just literally turn them all off because it can assess a lot faster when you're not trying to make it do lots of things at once. If that still doesn't work and you still have an error code, I always then say just turn the unit off and turn it back on again. And the way we do that is just by holding it in until it says off. And if that still doesn't work, then do the factory reset. All of the error codes can either be downloaded from the internet, from Truma's website. A lot of the time, if you just literally Google them now, you can easily find them as well.